guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I have 10 makeup hacks from you guys. So if you are part of our Facebook group community page, Beauty Chit Chat, if you're not, don't worry, there's a link down below that you can check it out. You already know how incredible that group is, you guys. This is amazing. I feel like this is the best place on the internet, really. It is a group of the most encouraging, inspiring, just like supportive group of women, and we have a lot of fun talking about makeup products in there, sharing makeup of the day looks, sharing our favorite products, all that good stuff. But about 6 weeks ago, I asked in that Facebook group page for you guys to give me all of your makeup hacks, like tricks that maybe not everybody knows about, simple, easy tricks that anyone can implement into their makeup routine to make things a little bit easier. So I think I got over 100 tips on that one post. I was way overwhelmed with the response, and I am finally had time to kind of sit down and go through them all. There were so many amazing tips, you guys. I wish I could feature every single one of them in this video, but I wanted to narrow it down just to 10, so that's what we are going to be doing today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so tip 1 comes from Venetia, V-E-N-I-T-I-A, such a beautiful name. I hope I got it right. Her tip was to use translucent setting powder before applying your makeup. So before primer, before foundation, really to help just kind of minimize the appearance of pores, absorb any excess oil, and it's really going to help control oil throughout the day and give your skin a nice, even, smooth canvas. This was actually a tip that I heard from a makeup artist years ago, so it's a really, really fantastic tip. Thank you so much for sharing. Tip 2 comes from Michelle, and her tip is to mix a moisturizing foundation with a long wear foundation. And I love this tip, you guys. I've always been a fan of mixing different consistencies of foundations to really get like your perfect foundation cocktail. You know, if you like a more moisturizing foundation, but you like a long wear full coverage foundation, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. I think too, as we get a little bit older, we really can't wear the full coverage matte foundations like we could in our earlier years. They just tend to look a little heavier on the skin. They tend to magnify texture. However, we do like that coverage and we do like the wearability. So mixing a more sheer or hydrating foundation into your full coverage foundation is really how you're going to get really the best of both worlds. Get a nice natural finish, but still get that coverage and still get that wearability. And you might need to play around with how much you mix of each. So you might do half and half at first and then decide that you like it to be a little bit more on the moisturizing side, less of the full coverage. Depending on how full coverage and how pigmented your long wear full coverage foundation is, you might actually be surprised with how little bit you need. The next hack comes from Jennifer, and it is to apply foundation and powder on your lips before you apply your lipstick. This is just going to really help your lipstick and your lip products stay on that much longer. It's also going to cancel out any color that you have in your lips. So if you're someone that has a really deep or bright lip and you want to wear more of a nude color, and you find that even when you wear nudes, your lips still look really bright or red, putting a foundation or concealer or powder on top of them really cancels that color out, so you can really get the true integrity of the lipstick that you are wanting to wear. So I loved that tip, Jennifer. The next hack comes from Gail, and I actually saw a few others mention this hack, so this is a really great one, and it is to apply powder on a pimple or a blemish before you apply concealer and then set with a powder. Applying that powder is really just going to kind of keep that concealer in place, keep it from sliding around or moving. Sometimes a lot of us have that challenge of trying to spot conceal a very large blemish, and you kind of get the concealer where you want it, you blend it, and then you kind of touch your face and it moves, you know, or it shears it out. So setting it with the powder first and then applying your concealer is going to kind of give that concealer something to like really grip to, and it's just going to help it stay in place better. So the next hack comes from Donna, and then I also saw Gail mention this as well, and I loved this idea. If you are someone who is challenged with getting on the whole setting spray bandwagon, let's say that you don't like the way that it feels when it sprays on your face, or it leaves little spackle marks, or you're just not all about it, but you want the benefits of a setting spray, they had a great hack of spraying your beauty blender and then going and impressing that into your makeup to set your makeup. And I love this because not only is that going to apply the setting spray, but it's also going to use that beauty blender to kind of just help blend in and buff and absorb any excess products. So if you applied a little bit too much foundation in certain areas or concealer, doing that extra step is really going to help kind of press that product into the skin and absorb any excess. So it's going to give you the most natural yet nice even coverage application. The next hack comes from Michelle and Julie. These were two that I saw that left this. There might have been others, but they had the great hack of using eye primer under your lower lashes before you put on eyeliner or eyeshadow. And I love this hack. This is something something that I incorporate into my eye makeup routine pretty often. This is going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to, if you're using shadow only and you're not using an eyeliner, putting that eye primer is going to give something for the shadow to adhere to, so it's going to kind of deepen that shadow a little bit, which is perfect for that mimicking the look of liner. It's also going to keep it from fading, keep it from smudging or moving throughout the day, especially if you live in a hot climate like I do. This hack has totally saved my eye makeup and really given me that long wear look all day without having to worry about my makeup running down my face. Hack number 7 comes from Crystal, and this took me way back to my MAC Cosmetics days. There were so many MAC artists that used to do this technique, and that is using concealer and a flat eyeshadow brush to create kind of that real clean, crisp line out here on the outer part of your eyeshadow. We've seen people use tape sometimes to really get that sharp edge. If you struggle with the tape concept, or maybe you don't like it to look that harsh and you want something a little bit softer, but you do want that shadow to really pop against the skin, you can apply a lighter and brighter concealer with a flat brush. In my demo, I used this brush right here because it has a nice flat edge, but you can also use something even flatter, something like a really flat definer brush, something that you would use for like liner. You can really use any makeup brush that has a nice flat edge. The smaller and tighter the brush, the more crisp of a line that you're going to get. If you want something a little bit softer, which is what I went for, you can use a nice flat concealer brush. If you want something really crisp and cut, then use like a really flat angled brush or a flat definer brush. And number 8, Luann's hack actually takes me back to my MAC Cosmetics day because my boss at the time, this was the tip that she always shared with people that really wanted to create that more full lip, but struggled with kind of lining outside their lip line. And it is to apply your lipstick first and then line with your lip liner. Now, you don't have to only use this if you're trying to create a more exaggerated lip. However, I do like this technique when you are trying to create a more exaggerated lip. It just makes it a little bit easier. But applying your lipstick first, then your liner, is going to just give you a softer, kind of more full lip line look. It's going to prevent that really stark lip line look. You know, sometimes when you line your lips with a lip liner and then you put your lipstick on and you can still see that really crisp lip liner, it's going to prevent that from happening. So it's just going to make it look softer and more blended, and also give a little bit more of a full lip look. You can also just kind of pencil or sketch inside your lips with your lip liner on top of your lipstick, and that's just going to give a little bit more longevity to your lip color throughout the day. Hack number 9 comes from Adrienne, and I love this hack. So she uses dark eyeshadow to cover up any grays or sparklers, as she called them. And when I was doing this, I actually found a little sparkler of my own. So I love this tip and this technique. Basically, you want to grab a pretty deep matte eyeshadow, depending on your hair color. For me, I look with something like a medium or a dark brown. If you have black hair, then you would use a black. If you have blonde hair, then I would use something like kind of like an ashy brown, mid-tone ashy brown. This is a great tip to kind of get you in between color appointments. And the last hack comes from Wendy. Yes, it's Wendy, although I saw several others comment this in the thread, and that is to kind of revitalize your under eye area by applying a little bit of eye cream throughout the day. So this is just going to kind of freshen up your eyes, freshen up your concealer. We tend to get really dry under the eyes. That skin is extremely thin. It tends to lack moisture, and it's just a drier part of the face. So throughout the day, sometimes we look in the mirror and we look at our under eyes and things look dry and they look cracked. Applying a little bit of eye cream is just going to kind of reawaken that concealer and make it really hydrating and give your eyes a little bit of a lift. Call it like that mid-afternoon cup of coffee, but for your eyes. It's just really going to kind of perk them up and wake them up. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was so fun to film. Thank you so much for everyone who contributed to that thread and gave the most amazing makeup hacks. Many of the hacks that I've never even heard of. You guys are so awesome. Again, I wish I could do a video and share all 100 of them, but I wanted to just pick 10. If you're not part of that group, be sure and check out the description box below because I do have a link to join that group. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!